Today, we're going to be talking about Metastrike, the free-to-play, play-to-earn, blockchain-based VR role-playing game, first-person shooter built in the metaverse. Okay? You're over here shooting other people, you're shooting zombies. What's not to love? Let's go. All right, you're going to have the ability to go ahead and earn and customize your own weapon collection, build out a map to win NFTs from other players, have the ability to create maps that when other people play on it, you can go ahead and earn some tokens and some money for doing it. And also, because if that wasn't enough, also go ahead and operate as a potential launchpad for other developers who want to use Metastrike's backend to launch their own game. Is that enough for you? Is that enough for you? If it's your first time here, my name is Ryan, no autopilot YouTube channel. My claim to fame is doing deep dives into tokens. Every single day, I put out a poll saying, hey, what token are we going to review next? Whatever wins gets covered. And in our last stream, Metastrike ended up winning, and it was the top voted project. Quick plug. If you want to go ahead and support this channel, I do have a Patreon. Link's going to be in the description. That'll go ahead and give you the ability to see all my moves. I'm creating a portfolio of GameFi only projects, and you'll be able to see what's in that portfolio and why I bought them. But first stop, okay? First stop. And if you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know this. Let's talk about the founders. Look at all these beautiful faces. Look at all these beautiful faces. So first and foremost, I want to see, okay, do these people have blockchain experience? Do they have gaming experience? Because if they don't, and they're just entering into the GameFi space because they're trying to make a quick buck, I'm out. I'm automatically out. Good news is, that's not the way with Metastrike. Metastrike got legit folks behind it. Okay, so we're starting right here with Peter Nguyen. And I believe all these folks are based out of Vietnam, by the way. So obviously CEO of Metastrike, and prior to that, he was the CEO and founder of a game art company. And I did some deep dives, because you know it's kind of my thing. Peter, hopefully don't take my video down, but I went way back in the time machine, 2016, and I found some pretty cool game art that Peter has been working on for a long time. So super excited about that. In addition to that, he also has a partner, and I may butcher your name, apologize in advance, Son. We scroll down, he actually has a bunch of blockchain experience when it comes to Moon Farm, as well as Finance X. And then lastly, Tip, hopefully I didn't butcher your name as well. They also worked at Moon Farm and also is currently working at Metastrike. And prior to that, he was a developer for a bank. So, guy probably knows what he's talking about. Hit a couple more highlights when it comes to the founding team. So with Peter, he's worked with game studios like Bandai Games, Ubisoft. He did some art for Decentraland way back in 2017. The CFO, we already talked about it, but he worked with Finance X, a cryptocurrency exchange. Tip has 10 years of experience in core banking development. And pretty much check the boxes. I have no concerns when it comes to the founding team behind these folks. And just in case you needed a little bit of extra, guarantee, they do also go ahead and have AMAs very frequently within their Discord. And small little spoiler alert, I spoke to their community manager in their Discord, and it sounds like it's possible we might get them on this channel for an AMA. So stay tuned for that. That should be fun. All right, so next stop is, I want to see the social sentiment. I want to see the community. I want to see how strong they are. Are they out there championing this thing, helping it grow? And I'd say in that regard, it's a little early. Okay, it's a little early. So the Reddit has 185 members. Their Twitter account has 90,000. So for me, it's not a ton. That's not a ton. But to be fair, game isn't even launched yet. And I think they just completed their IDO like last month. Okay, so we're very early in this protocol's life. Now we go ahead, we talk about market cap. What if? So this is the full total supply. If the full total supply was out in circulation, what would happen? If you put in a little bit of investment right now into MTS, Metastrike's token, And it went ahead and it matched another VR game in the crypto space, Mana, total market cap. Well, if that were to happen, you would go ahead and you would have about a 1,000x on whatever your investment is into the token. So pretty substantial, pretty substantial. Now, the next thing I want to take a look at is I want to look at the backers, okay? What type of people have thrown money behind this thing? That's a good way to tell if it's a scam or not, as well as like the potential longevity of it and the success of it. A couple of names that jump out to me. One is Kucoin Labs. Kucoin is an exchange. They went ahead and they backed this group with a little bit of money. Also, AU21 Capital, I follow pretty regularly. X21 is another one, as is Maven Capital. Now, they did go ahead and they announced a couple of partnerships that I think is worthwhile mentioning. One is with Mantra DAO. So that's obviously a DAO. And one of their, I think, strategic decisions behind that is not only to collaborate on kind of their DAO infrastructure, building that out for their community, using best practices from Mantra, but also Mantra went ahead and invested in this project itself. So it sounds like those initial conversations went so well that Mantra went ahead and piled in some initial money also. They also went ahead and they partnered up with Rainmaker Games, which I'm going to need to do a little bit of a deeper dive in, because quick look on their website, it looks as if they're attempting to be the Steam of crypto. All right, if you guys know, Steam doesn't really vibe with crypto games right now. So Rainmaker Games is attempting to go ahead and fill that void as like a single location for crypto games. What else we got? So they also go ahead and they announced a partnership with Babylon's. That's kind of an NFT provider, as well as NFT trade. So I think the vision there is, look, all the guns, cosmetics, wearables for your character in the game, all those are going to be NFTs. And they need to have some of these solutions in place to go ahead and have kind of a DeFi trading central hub for those NFTs, while minimizing the fees. This one is built on Binance, so the fees aren't as bad, but definitely opportunities to go ahead and kind of manage that. Now, when we look at the token, you have two. Okay, you have two tokens. One is the Metastrike MTS token. All right, this is the one that you're going to be using for governance. This is the one that's required to upgrade weapons to max levels, staking, creating a guild, and using in major tournaments for Metastrike. Right, they're trying to go after like that Counter-Strike in the play to earn space. The other token is MTT. Okay, and you can just think of that as like the in-game currency. Okay, that's the one that has like an infinity supply, and it's used to go ahead and participate in game modes, purchase consumables like ammos, vests, medic kits, upgrade your weapons to kind of a lower tier, and all those good things. Now we look at go ahead and look at the what is it here? The total circulating supply. So we have 14 million that is reported from Metastrike, not automatic feed into CoinMarketCap as of yet, and that is out of a total supply of 565 million tokens. I don't know why I'm struggling to talk. So right off the bat, I think one of my takeaways there is that is not a ton of tokens that they'd have a max supply of. In addition to that, the amount that's currently in circulation isn't that much either. So just kind of some interesting aspects there. What else do we got? So they went ahead, they did have a initial DEX offering. Okay, so the folks who went ahead and participated in this thing, they got those tokens, those MTS tokens, for 5 cents a piece. And currently it's trading around 30 cents. So as I've mentioned on this channel before, it definitely pays to be early when you look at these things. Now they have had some seed sales, strategic sales, private sales, as well as the public IDO. And they do have different vesting schedules associated with them. It looks like it spans anywhere from 24 months to 4 months, depending on where you went ahead and you bought into the token. One thing that's worth calling out, because I think maybe it's a little bit of a concern or a question, I read this as saying, 34, 20, in essence, like 90% of the tokens were held by seed, strategic, private. but that just means like 100% of the pre-sale rounds, right? Which equals 145 million tokens, whereas the actual total supply is 565 million. So there's that. Now there is a burn mechanism that's in place, okay? So anytime MTT is used, okay, that's the in-game currency where you're using it to buy, sell, those type of things in-game, it will be burned forever, okay? And 10% of that will go ahead and be pulled into a weekly prize pool to reward highest ranking gamers or used for competitions. So there is some sort of a deflationary aspect to this thing. Now we talk about where can you buy this. So right now it's listed on Gate.io as well as Kucoin. So if you want to kind of talk about maybe some potential pumps that could happen, right? Some potential pumps in the price. One would be initial listings on major centralized exchanges. Now we zoom out, okay? What are kind of the big news pieces that have happened? Well, first and foremost, GameFi really hit full steam in the summer of 2021. And Metastrike was already kind of in development moving forward around that point in time. So they're definitely riding that wave. In addition to that, they went ahead and they're beginning to foster a real sizable community across all their social media threads. Twitter, Discord, all that. Now we've looked at the gameplay. I think it's pretty unique. I haven't reviewed that many VR blockchain-based games. So I think that definitely kind of stands out as a unique aspect of this project. And then in total, across all their funding rounds, their private rounds, they raised $3.3 million. $3.3 million. And typically that's done with like a 2-year runway plan for this project. So I think if you're going to buy this thing off the market and just kind of hold the token to see if it appreciates, 2 years is kind of the time frame that you need to keep in mind. And then, of course, we touched on that IDO, but their initial offering on the market sold out in like seconds. It was super fast. Now, an additional piece of news, and I believe this is still happening. When I jumped on their site, I couldn't tell if there was an expiration or not, but it looks like if you go ahead and use stake Metastrike tokens right now on their website, you can go ahead and earn yourself an NFT whitelist. Okay, so it'll give you a ticket in essence. When you go ahead and you mint some NFTs, you have a higher percentage chance of unlocking like legendary or high tier NFTs. Now, of course, they were audited, right? All cryptocurrency projects kind of pay for audits and slap on and say, look, we're legit. And so they went ahead and they paid for one for Peck Shield and Verichains. Now, we touched on this already, but this just happened in January, was it 19th? So again, Kucoin Labs, which is an incubator for Kucoin, went ahead and invested in this project and is going to go ahead and provide them not only money, but also support and structure and helping grow the project and really get this thing launched off the ground. So we go ahead, we look at the roadmap. Okay, what are we looking forward to? Well, we have that NFT sale that should be happening in Q1. They have their closed beta release, which is also slated for end of Q1. So that's January, February, March. So end of March. And then their open beta, so like for the general public, is slated for Q3 of 2022. So with all that being said, I think from a stage standpoint, we are super early in looking at Metastrike. So I'll give you a couple scenarios, okay? Scenario number one, bullish, all right? You're getting into something that's pre-launch. You're able to earn some exclusive NFTs. You're able to earn a bunch of the tokens before it goes ahead and appreciates in value and hits the marketplace. And by playing the game and staking, you earn those tokens, and in essence, you make a mint. You make a ton. While also having the opportunity to experience one of the first breakthroughs in VR crypto gaming, okay? I flip it, all right? I'm not always roses. I try and give you two different point of views, and you hopefully get somewhere to go off of that from yourself. Bearish, all right? Bearish scenario. You put your time and energy into this play to earn game that seems really ambitious, but it never really takes off. And that opportunity cost is painful because you see everybody else who piled into other play to earn games actually make money and do pretty well. Of course, you also have to keep in the back of your head exploits, hacks, scams, all that. So wrapping this thing up, what do I personally think? I love it. I love it. I love rooting for underdogs. And I'm not trying to offend them by calling them underdogs, but the fact that they've been in the crypto space, making game art, helping build blockchains for their company and for other folks, and now they actually have an opportunity to go ahead and launch their own game. Like, just think how thrilling that must be for that group. It seems like the founder, again, has a really strong track record in creating really awesome art. I think they've raised a bunch of money from a whole bunch of respected VC firms, and that doesn't come easy. They get thoroughly vetted before they go ahead and get $3.3 million to get this thing off the ground. And I think they have the skills to go ahead and match up with that money and get this thing done. So I think really the ultimate piece is just execute, right? And not a lot of people are building in that VR gaming space. And I think there's some complexities to it that you don't have to mess with if you're creating like a card battler or something like that, like a turn-based battler. So will they be able to get that solved? Overall, I'm bullish on Metastrike. And I'm likely going to be buying it and adding it to my GameFi portfolio. So there you have it. There's my review of Metastrike. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Anything I missed? Anything you would add? And what project am I reviewing next? Let me know that too.